What's up, y'all? It's your man, That Dude, bringing you guys another video. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way that PJ Walker could be the answer for the Panthers long term. And part of me also believes that, but you can't deny what the guy has been able to do over the past couple of games, which admittedly, a very small sample size, and the game against the Rams was just horrible. But I'm going to put that more on Ben McAdoo and Steve Wilkes for having the game plan that they did. That was way too passive and just didn't allow PJ to really do anything. But the game against the Bucks, where he went out there and legitimately had an amazing game. You could probably say it was a flawless game. He was out there and he played almost perfectly. In the game against the Falcons, where the first half was a little touch and go. He wasn't great, but in the second half, he was making some throws in the second half of that Falcons game, and also in the Bucks game. But he was making throws that there is not a very long list of quarterbacks in the league who could make those throws. So some of those throws he was making over the middle to DJ Moore, where he's putting the ball 15 or 20 yards down the field, in the middle of the field, over the outstretched hands of defenders, putting the ball on a rope and hitting DJ Moore right in the hands or right in the chest. There aren't many quarterbacks who can make those throws. Some of those throws are like Patrick Mahomes-esque or Kyler Murray-esque. And yeah, I know Kyler Murray is not as good as Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he is. But from a pure arm talent perspective, Kyler Murray's arm is up there with anybody's. And PJ Walker was making some throws like those upper echelon guys. Like I'm someone who has said before that PJ has a very strong arm. The guy has, good arm talent. But even I didn't think he was capable of making some of those throws. And that's not even counting the Hail Mary pass at the end where he rolls out of the pocket, rolling to his left, and launches a near 70-yard bomb down the field that lands perfectly in DJ Moore's arms as he's running. So it's not like DJ Moore is stationary in the end zone. The ball just coming, he catches it, just waiting for the ball to come down. No, DJ Moore is still running down the field. So PJ Walker not only throws the ball near 70 yards down the field, he does it rolling to his left and accurately hits a moving target in DJ Moore. That was just an amazing throw. Patrick Mahomes himself tweeted about it. It was a great throw. There's no denying that. And if PJ Walker is able to consistently play like he has for the rest of the year, and I mean, I don't care if Sam Darnold comes back healthy, if Baker Mayfield, his ankle heals up well, it doesn't matter. The rest of the year should be PJ's. Both of those guys ride the bench. The only way they should ever see the field anymore if PJ gets hurt. The rest of this year should be PJ's to see if he can consistently play like he's played the last few games. Because if he can, which is a big if, because the Bucks defense, it was good early in the season, but when they played the Panthers, that defense was depleted, and the Falcons have one of the worst pass defenses in the league. But if PJ Walker can consistently play like he's played these past few games for the rest of the season, I do believe that the Panthers have to strongly consider signing PJ to a long-term contract and having PJ be the starting quarterback going forward. Now, hear me out. Yeah, it sounds crazy. And part of me also thinks that sounds crazy, but I do think that most of us are holding it against PJ. Yeah, the guy went to Temple. He wasn't highly touted coming out of high school or college. He had to go to the XFL. So we just don't think of this guy as being like some super talented quarterback. But yeah, he's not big. But from a physical trait standpoint, besides size, he has it. He's mobile. He's quick. He has a very strong arm. He has a pretty good release. I think he has pretty large hands too. So besides height, he does have, physical talent. And also, we don't know what PJ Walker is as an NFL quarterback. The guy hasn't actually played a lot of games. It'd be different if we saw PJ play for some other team and he had a few seasons under his belt and we saw, during these few seasons, you just were bad. We don't have that with PJ. The guy is not young. He's 27, so he's getting up there, and he's not old, but he is getting kind of, up there in age for a young quarterback. But we don't know what he is as a final product in the NFL. So if he goes out there and he can consistently play like he's played over the past few games, I don't think it would be that crazy for the Panthers to decide to sign him long term and ride into the future with PJ Walker as a starting quarterback. And as I'm trying to convince you guys that this isn't crazy, I'm also trying to convince myself, because part of me also believes it's crazy. But if there were Matt Corral out there doing these things, I'll be on the top of a mountain somewhere screaming Matt Corral's praises. But that's because Matt Corral is a rookie and he went to Ole Miss and he was The Panthers drafted him in the 3rd round, which is not, very high, but it's higher than when P.J. Walker went in the draft because I don't think P.J. Walker was drafted. If that were Matt Corral out there, a lot of people would be saying, "Oh, the Panthers have found their guy in the future." They'd be saying, "Oh, look at these flash plays. Look, he's showing his potential." But it's not Matt Corral out there. It's P.J. Walker's. People aren't really doing that. But P.J. Walker has the talent. And I also do think that from a team building standpoint, it would really help the Panthers out if P.J. Walker does show that he can consistently play this way. Because if that happens, it allows the Panthers to go into next year's draft without having to worry about drafting a quarterback. If they don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback, all these draft picks they've gotten, now you can get another receiver or another offensive lineman. You can get, a running back later in the rounds. But with those higher picks, you can maybe get some other skill position talent around them. Maybe a tight end. You can get some guys to go around PJ, where if you got to spend one or multiple of those picks just to get a quarterback, that then, takes away your ability to fill other positions of need. But if you get PJ on a probably a very cheap quarterback, also on a cheap contract, which is another reason it might benefit the Panthers if PJ proves himself to be the answer going forward, because you can probably get PJ on a pretty cheap contract. Let's say if the Panthers think he's the future, the future solution, or I guess the current solution at quarterback, if they think he's a long-term answer at quarterback, you can probably get PJ on a contract, 4 years, $80 million. You get $20 million a year for PJ. I don't think PJ turns that down. Now you have a starting quarterback for $20 million a year, which in today's league is a bargain. If you can do that, that saves on your salary cap. That gives them a better ability to go out and get free agents. And then also you keep those draft picks to fill other positions of need. It just works out very well for the Panthers if he proves himself to be the answer. Now, that is a big if. I'm not going to sit up here and try to say that it's a guarantee or that I even really believe that PJ can consistently play this way. I'm just saying we can't deny what the guy has done over these past few games. And he's shown things that I didn't think he was capable of. And I don't think anybody outside of PJ Walker's mother and his father or, his family knew that he was capable of, because the guy has made some throws, again, that there is a very short list of quarterbacks in this league who can make those throws. And on the Panthers roster, there's only one quarterback who can make those throws, and that's PJ Walker. Well, maybe Matt Corral, because I heard Matt Corral has a cannon for R. We just didn't really get a chance to see it. So maybe him. But as far as healthy quarterbacks on the roster, only one, and that's PJ Walker. Baker Mayfield couldn't make those throws. And Sam Darnold, who's also somebody who I've said has good arm talent, I don't think he can make those throws either. PJ Walker is doing things that I didn't think he was capable of, and I don't think almost anyone else in the league thought he was capable of. Otherwise, he would have been on somebody's roster before. So good luck to the guy. PJ Walker's very likable. Nobody has a bad thing to say about him. It would be a really cool underdog story if he proves himself to be the long-term answer quarterback for the Panthers. And he gets that long-term deal. It would be a really cool story. The guy who came out of Temple, had to go to the XFL, fought his way into the league, and then rides the bench for a couple years, and then fights and gets a starting job. It would just be a really cool story. And again, everybody likes PJ Walker. So it will really work out for the Panthers. It'll be very beneficial to them if he proves himself capable. I don't think it's likely. If I had to put money on it, I would say it's not going to happen. But you can't deny that just based off what he's done the past couple of games, the guy does have the talent. That's what I have for you in this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you are so inclined, subscribe and leave a comment. I respond to almost everything. And I'll see you guys in the next one.